been a rough day. And I'm limping like a 90-year-old man. And it ain't good.
I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
So if you guys watched yesterday's video, you know about mine and Billy's bike accident. And I was fine yesterday. Everything was good to go. And I sat down, I edited that video, got the video uploaded, screwed around, did a few other things, and I was perfectly fine. And then later yesterday afternoon, the right hand side of my leg just below my knee just started pulsating and hurting like there's no tomorrow. And I've been icing it like crazy. I did it last night and I iced it again this morning. And it doesn't hurt just sitting there, but walking on it, putting any weight on it, it's painful. And it shoots pain right up under my kneecap and a little bit down my leg, but not too much. But going up and down stairs absolutely sucks, especially downstairs. That's worse. But it's made it not so much fun today for work, and thank God I got Billy over here picking up the slack, doing some trimming for me. And because usually I do most of the trimming. I don't mind it. I know a lot of guys hate trimming. I don't really mind it, but I usually do most of it. But Billy's picking up the slack today. He's walking, blowing off driveways. I've been doing a little bit, but not too much of the weed whacking and blowing off. But it's hurting. So last night I was laying in bed and it hurt, and I was like, I wanted to go for a run so bad, because I like going for late night runs, like around midnight or so. I'll go for like a 3-4 mile run. And there was just no way. I could barely even walk. I'm like, there's no way I can go for a run. I'm like, I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, I bet you I could push through a bike ride though. And maybe if I work this leg more, it'll, you know, work it out a little bit and it won't hurt so bad. So I got on my bike around, I don't know, 10:30 I think, 10:30, 11 o'clock. And I went 6.7 miles, and it was beautiful, beautiful night. Didn't hurt at all, not one little bit of pain. But as soon as I got off that bike and I went to start walking again, it came right back. So I laid there in bed and I finally fell asleep, and now walking all day today, it's right back. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a process, I think. So here's the deal, I never closed out last week's video, so you're gonna get a little bit of footage from last week plus what we do today. And might be a shock to some of you guys, but I'm gonna set this cone up here. There's the Toro grandstand. So here's the deal. He called me Friday morning when I was picking up the skag from the dealer. The mount's still on there for the bagging system, and he said, hey, your Toro's done. I said, awesome, what was it? He said, you had so much crap stuck in that carburetor, it gummed up the needle valve and it wasn't allowing it to shut, so it was overloading the carburetor and the engine with fuel, making it puff black smoke and running like crap. And I said, are you sure that's all? He goes, yeah, I'm pretty sure. He goes, I started up, drove it around, ran it all around, it runs great. I'm like, okay. So I went and picked it up from him. We went and mowed one lawn, and I barely made it through the front small part of that lawn. It was ticking like a time bomb. When I engaged the blades, it was ticking like crazy. It was running like crap. It wouldn't go. I took it right back and dumped it off. His wife was there. I said, this thing is not right. I explained to her what it was doing. I said, have him call me. Well, he didn't call me. And then he called me Saturday morning, said, hey, come and get it. And I said, okay. Well, I told her, just like I initially told you guys in the video when it first broke, I was pretty sure it threw a rod. And that's what it sounded like to me. And I mentioned you guys before in a video, he said, yeah, it does sound like that, but I think it's a valve issue. Well, he was pretty sure it was just that carb issue. So anyway, so he called me Saturday morning, he goes, it's fixed now. And he goes, you were right. So it had a bent push rod in it, and it took out the valves on one side, messed up the lifters. The lifters were at like 11 thousandths on both sides. They're supposed to be at 5 thousandths. He fixed all that, put a new push rod in it. It actually slammed the spark plug shut on the one side, so the whole engine was only running on one cylinder. and just running like total crap. So new push rod, fixed the valves, adjusted all the lifters, and put a new spark plug in the one side. He charged me 68 bucks. I picked it up. I just mowed one lawn with it. It's running great. It's flying right along. It's mowing great. Sounds so much better. The only issue I'm having is I had him put a new throttle cable on because the other one had a cut in it, and he put a new one on, and now when I mow and I have the throttle up, it keeps backing off. Not even when I hit bumps, it just keeps coming back up and backing off. So I grabbed a bungee when I got done with that last lawn, stuck in there. I'm gonna bungee this down, and I'm gonna run it like that for today until I can get home and figure out why it's not staying forward. I think there's a spring that's supposed to be under there. Maybe when he put the new cable on, he forgot to put the spring back on, because there's 2 holes and it looks like there should be a spring in there. I'll have to look at the manual, the diagram of it better to make sure that that's what it is, and then if that's it, no big deal, I'll put a spring in there. So Billy's running the Skag today. I'm running the Toro, and so far we're doing all right.
These brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. These brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Ride or die, 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 ride or die. These brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta ride or die.
Let me talk to you guys about something. If there's something going on in your life and you're not happy or things aren't working out right, you need to make changes. And I know a lot of people say that's easier said than done, and you can't always do that, but listen, it's not that you can't do it, it's that it's going to be hard, and it's going to suck ass, and it's going to just be horrible all the way around. Let me see if I can find somewhere to mount you. It's going to be horrible all the way around, but it's not that you can't change it. You can change it, and you need to think about yourself. I know it sounds selfish, but you got to do what you got to do, and you got to make things happen so that you can have a happy life, you can have a good life, because it affects everything, not just your personal life, but your work life. It affects everything. You need to do what you got to do to make things happy and good for you. Now, that being said, me talking about you need to do what you got to do in your life to make things happy for you, make things good for you, it affects, like I said, it affects your personal life, your work life, it affects your kids if you have kids, everything like that, just all the way around. And you know, getting out of any bad situation it's gonna suck for everybody involved, and there's just no other way to go about it. What's bringing this on, and the reason I'm talking to you guys about this, is I have a friend of mine that I went to high school with, and I noticed his Facebook posts were getting kind of sketchy looking. So I contacted him. I says, "Everything all right, man?" And he goes, "Dude, I'm going through a divorce I've been going through for months." He goes, "And you know what it's like in a small town like we live in." He says, "Everybody talks, and unfortunately her family is really big, and so she tells them one thing, you know, and of course they're only hearing her side of the story, and she's telling them, you know, things like he wasn't emotionally there to support her, and he was verbally abusive, or this or that." And he might be, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is he's the one that filed for divorce, and it's because he asked her numerous times if she was running around on him, and she swore up and down she wasn't. Well, you know how you get that feeling that something's going on and you can't get past it? Well, in my belief and in my past experience, if you feel like it's that strongly as something is going on and you can't get past it no matter what, there's a good chance there probably is, because you wouldn't feel that way and you wouldn't be drawn to that conclusion unless something gave you reason to think that way. So he decided to bug her car and listen to audio, and come to find out she was running around on him, and not with just one person. So he filed for divorce, but he doesn't want to say that because of his job and because of the kids and things like that. He doesn't want to put that out there, but it's come to the point where he's being attacked now on social media by her friends and her family and things like that. And he goes, "I just don't know how to respond, and I don't want to respond because I don't want it to affect my kids and, you know, my career and things like that." So The reason I'm telling you guys this is, listen, you know, things are going to happen in your life, and whether it's employment or in a relationship or whatever, you gotta do what's best for you. I mean, of course, you got, in his situation, he has to think of his kids and things like that, but if you're not happy, that's going to affect everybody right down the pipe. You know, if he's not happy and he's miserable and he's upset all the time, you know, his kids are going to see that, and he's gonna affect them greatly. So you need to make changes in your life if that's what needs to happen. No matter what, no matter how hard it is, no matter how bad it's going to hurt, you got to do what you got to do. So just something for you guys to think about. I know I usually don't talk in that direction or about things like that on this channel, but sometimes these things come up, and you know, this is a vlogging channel, or it was at one point. So, so you know, these are things that come up. So I don't know if you guys remember, but all back here was piles of wood and brush and everything. Billy and I have been using the tractor. It's over there, we borrowed from a friend, in the dump trailer. And yesterday and today we've been cleaning it all out of there. We've taken 3 full dump trailer loads out of there. But now there's this monster tree right here my wife wants gone. And I am not an arborist by any means, but I am a hillbilly, so that counts for something. So the tree's leaning that way, and theoretically, if I cut a V in it on that side and then cut it from the back side, it should continue to go that way. Now there's a good chance it'll get hung up in them trees, which will suck because then it's at an angle and then I got to deal with that. But either way, I'm going to attempt to do this and drop it. We're going to see what happens. But if it falls on me and kills me, at least Billy will record it.
Hold on. Go.
I heard it break free like it was starting to go.
I don't know. I'm scared. Here. It's going.
I heard it crack. That little slight breeze is making it move. See, the problem is with trees this big, like that thing goes way to hell up there. With trees this big, when you drop them from the bottom like that, they kick out on the bottom. And my knee is so screwed up right now, I can't really run, so I don't want to be standing right next to the bottom of it when it goes, because I'm not going to be able to run fast enough. It's a waiting game, Billy.
It is.
I'm going to have to go cut it.
Are you okay? Are you okay, sir?
No.
I don't think you're okay, man. Alright.
Hold on, that wind just kicked up again.
Yeah, you don't want to run over there to start cutting and it come down.
Alright, screw this waiting game.
Alright, let's see it.
It cracked twice loud, did you hear it?
Yeah. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but I definitely heard it. Round 2. Fight.
There it goes. And down she goes. It didn't get hung up, but look at that huge chunk that stayed up there in the tree. And she's down. All right, let's go take a look at this sucker. Look at all the moisture in that tree. Look at the water pouring out of it.
Oh, yeah.
my cut was completely wrong. I had a nice V in there, and then I started cutting flat across, started cutting up at an angle, so I completely screwed that up. But
Hear all of it? Oh, look how wet it is up there.
yeah, a lot of moisture in this tree.
It's a big tree.
Yeah, it was. That's a big mamma jamma.
Big man.
And now we got to cut off as much of this brush part as we can and get it in the dump trailer, and then Chris can have the log. Watch out, that hive we stirred up over there with the tractor, the bees are swarming around it again.